Hello, and welcome to Ghost Chat and other paranormal things. Welcome to our live show if you happen to be listening live, because we decided to do this impromptu since we hadn't been on in a while.
Yes. Hello.
So, I'm Electric Elisa, and this is,
I'm Jody. Hello, everyone.
yeah. And today we're actually going to talk about glitches in the Matrix a little bit. And we have lost Jody. So, hopefully she will get back on here because she had some stories about glitches in the Matrix to share today. Oh, here she is. Okay, welcome back.
Sorry, I got kicked out. What happened?
I don't know.
Whoops.
That
Okay,
is
I heard you
weird.
say I heard you say glitches in the matrix, then bloop, I was gone.
That was a glitch in the Matrix, I
That was
guess.
a glitch right there.
Yeah.
Oops. Well, I am back. Hello, everyone. Jody has returned.
Oh my, why is it doing that?
I don't know. Strange things are happening.
Uh-huh. We 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 need to
There we
stop.
go. Oops.
Oh no. What happened?
This is funny.
We are
No,
not trying
I like this. I'm glad this is happening. This is funny. This is so cool.
There's ghosts in the machine
I
and
know.
along with the glitches in the Matrix.
Right? Something's happening. That's
Yeah.
hilarious. Makes it exciting. That's quite all right. I like that.
Yeah. Okay. So I was when you disappeared, I said, well, hopefully she will be back in a few.
Yes, right. I have returned.
And you have stories to share.
I do have some. I do have some. I found some. Oh, that was. See, I keep getting this thing. I keep getting this thing saying recording failed to start. The current recording that went away, but I'm still here, right?
You are still here.
Okay, so I won't worry about that. I'm just
I
gonna
don't
go on.
I mean, I don't think I'm hallucinating.
Nope. I hope not. Maybe it's a dream. It's a fever dream.
Maybe.
But anyway, okay. So hopefully this will continue. Hopefully I'll stay here. I did find some. Now, my personally, I couldn't think of a glitches in the Matrix story that I had. Maybe one will come to me while I'm reading or while we're talking, but I couldn't think of one that I had. But I found some interesting ones on Reddit, and I will give credit to the writers as well. I have the writers' names here and everything. They're screen names anyway, not their real names. So this first one is from someone named Kerwapple, and this is the Kerwapple story of their glitch in the Matrix. They said, I remember being pretty young, like 9 or 10, and I was the car park of a pub. And I guess she was saying she was in a car parked in a pub in England, South End. I remember seeing someone in their teens in the window of a house looking over the car park. They waved at me, and I felt like I knew them somehow. My parents asked who I was waving at, and I said, just some lady in the window over there. Didn't think much of it. Fast forward 10 years, I was in my nan's new house. I remember walking into her room, which I was never allowed to do, and going to the window. I then realized I was in the house looking over that same parking lot and remembering that interaction years before. Then a girl around 9 or 10 who was in the said car park waved at me, and I waved back like I felt like I knew her. Could not explain it and have never told anyone about it. It freaked me out. That's kind of weird. Are you there? Oh
Sorry.
no.
Sorry,
Oh, you're fine.
I muted myself.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh no, not again. And it's 11:11 right now. So,
Oh.
so that's kind of an interesting story. So she kind of like saw herself 10 years later.
Wow. That is really weird.
That's a good one. I like that one.
I like that one too.
That's
I
good.
feel like we need Twilight Zone music for that,
I
but don't have any.
okay. I have another one. This one is by Cowgirl in the Sand 2. Okay. Weird but happy. About 5 years ago in November, we lost our family dog to cancer. Aw. She was the dog my children grew up with, loved by all. At the next Christmas, at the end of the day of gifts, food, and family, as I was picking up, I found this tiny pewter dog figurine standing on the mantle. I asked everyone who had been in the house the day if they left it, that day if they left it. No one had. Okay, weird, but took it as a good omen. When my eldest went back to college at the end of Christmas break, he asked if he could take the little figurine to remember the dog. Of course, I said yes. A week or two later, picking up around the house, there was the figurine again. I called my son and said, "You forgot the dog figurine." He said, "No, I didn't. It's right in front of me in my desk." I had now found a second figurine. Again, no one claimed it, any knowledge of it, no idea how, but I still have the two of them tucked away on a shelf to this day.
Oh,
Very strange.
that is weird.
Just figurines that came out of nowhere. Uh, this one is from Ruchel, Ruchull, again out of Reddit. This is a short one. About a year ago, me and my cousin visited Los Angeles. We were driving around using Google Maps, and after missing our third or fourth exit, we swear we both heard the Google Map sigh loudly before it rerouted us. We freaked and made sure driving was on point the rest of the ride. The rest of the trip, if there were any missed or if we had missed any of our exits or turn, we always apologized to Google. So hopefully she would know we were just morons and not assholes. Sorry about the sorry about the language.
That's funny.
That is a funny one. She said that they said they heard a sigh. They could have sworn. That would be hilarious. Imagine if it got really annoyed with you, like, "Ah, you missed your turn again.
Right?
I told you which exit to turn, you idiot."
That might be better than rerouting.
Rerouting, recalculating,
Oh, yeah, recalculating.
recalculating. Yeah. Then I know I messed up
Yeah.
if they recalculate. Oh Lord,
Yeah.
that's always fun. This is from someone called the Bronze Bear. Okay, they said I used to have a reoccurring dream as a teenager every night for months. I was sitting at a table on the patio of a restaurant. I was out there alone waiting for my food. A homeless man comes up to the other side of the patio and asks for change. I'm digging in my wallet for a couple of dollars, and then I hear tires screech, and I look up to see a crash in an intersection near the restaurant. I run out there to see if I can help, and as soon as I run into the road, I get hit by a car and wake up on impact. After a while, the dream stopped, and I put it out of my mind. Fast forward to me being 28 and sitting on the border on the patio waiting for my food. A homeless guy comes up, walking past the restaurant, but doesn't stop to ask for change. It makes me think about the dream, though, and I start to feel uneasy. Shortly after, I hear the tires screech and I see a wreck happen in the intersection near the restaurant. I begin to run out there, but stop at the sidewalk and look out towards traffic, incoming traffic, and there is an SUV not slowing down. She was on her phone and blew through the intersection completely unaware of what had just happened. I ran out and checked on the people. Everyone was fine. So that's weird.
Yeah.
That is a weird one. So she kind of had I don't know if it's a glitch in the matrix or a premonition type dream. Could be both.
Wait, was she dreaming?
Well, the first time, yes, when
Okay.
when the homeless person asked for change, and
Okay.
she found herself in real life sitting on a patio in a restaurant, and a homeless man came by but didn't ask for change. And then this time she stopped in the sidewalk and looked both ways, and that van just came tearing through the intersection, the one that had hit her in the dream when she woke up on impact. So the van actually wasn't paying attention, and the driver was on her phone. I think, yeah, she was on her phone, not paying any attention. So that's kind
Well,
of weird.
that was definitely a helpful premonition.
I know.
'Cause
It made her
a lot of times you can't do anything about what the premonition is.
right. That's true. Thank God for that one. Thank God for her dream.
Right. Although I did kinda have one about a snake. Um,
Ooh.
yeah, it was after the hurricane, so, it had rained and, like, animals were coming out of their holes, I guess.
Mhm.
Um, um, so I had dreamed there was a snake, a poisonous snake on the back porch. I don't know why I was on the back porch, but I
Oh
was
wow.
'cause, um, and that morning, I woke up and I was like, "That was a weird dream,"
Yeah.
and, I didn't much care for it, and I was starting to walk out the front door, and I happened to look down, and there was a coral snake,
Oh Lord.
and I would have stepped on it. That would not
Oh,
have been probably a good thing. Um,
for either one of you, no.
no. And, if it hadn't been for that dream, I probably wouldn't have been looking a lot around a lot more.
Yeah, dream made you kind of pay more attention to your surroundings.
Yeah, it did.
Wow, that's weird.
Um, I had I had a weird thing I've had this happen more than once
Mhm.
where um I let and it's usually just the one dog that this happens with. I let the husky mix out and I go and do something and I'm like, "Oh, I should check and see if he wants to come back in because he's not like our other dog who knows how to open the door."
Mhm.
Which is we have to lock it now because he needs to quit just doing that.
Right.
Um, so I go back into the living room, and I'm about to go to the door to see if he wants in, and there he is.
Oh,
And I'm like, "Wait, I don't remember letting you in."
oh, that's weird. There's no doggy door or anything, huh?
No.
Weird. That's a glitch.
And that has happened more than once, and it's just with him,
Just with that one dog.
which is so weird. It's like maybe he has powers I'm not aware of. I don't know.
Yeah, something going on that you don't know about.
Yeah, because that and it happened once, and I'm like, "Okay, I must have forgot."
Yeah.
Happens again, and I'm like,
Who
"Wait
let
a
you
minute."
in?
Yeah, I was like, "How did you get in?"
Are you
And
able to
then
open the door?
but if he opens it and he's closing it too.
Yeah.
And
That
sorry,
is
I haven't seen that
bizarre.
happen. That would be nice if the other one would do that.
Right.
Um, no, and then I was like, "Okay, I must be tired or something." And then it happens again,
What the heck?
another time, and they're not like in a row or anything, it's just randomly, and it's always him.
It's always that dog.
So weird.
Wow. This is the dog you had before. This isn't one of the ones you have now?
No, this is one of the ones I have now.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
we have
is.
yeah, it is one of the ones we have. Um, mhm.
I can't explain that. I don't know.
I
But
don't know either. I'm like,
there's no one else
"Man,
letting him in.
am I getting, like, really senile?"
No. Or you're missing time or something. Aliens are erasing your mind, erasing your memories.
Well, yeah. Um, I guess that's a possibility.
You never know.
I haven't actually really told anybody that because I forget about it, and then I'm
Yeah.
like and then we were talking about doing this as a topic, and I was like, "Oh, I need to remember to talk about that." It's so weird.
I do have one strange thing, but it's not, I don't know. It happened a few years ago, but I when I fell asleep as usual, went to bed, fell asleep, and then I woke. I'm living by myself. This is when I was in Kansas, and when I woke up, I was on the sofa, and I don't for the rest of my life. Now I probably walked in my sleep. I don't know, but I do not have any recollection of going downstairs and going to the sofa. I usually didn't do that. I usually didn't sleep on the sofa. I had a perfectly good bed to sleep on. So I don't know. Maybe aliens moved me. It's always the aliens, isn't it?
Of course, it's
I
them.
just blame
Yes.
it on them. They took me to the sofa. I don't know. That's probably just regular sleepwalking or something. I don't know. It's very weird.
Huh. Yeah, whenever I've slept walk in the past, and it's been many years,
Hmm.
uh, I woke up in the middle of it,
Middle of what?
of sleepwalking.
Oh wow. And you're like, what? Where am I going?
Yeah. Well, I kind of remembered the dream that
Hmm.
I was having, so that well, sort of, I did.
Yeah.
Not really, I guess, now that I think about it, because that one time I mentioned in the past, running up the stairs to run outside.
Right. Hmm.
Something was obviously chasing me, I guess.
Must have been if you were out and about.
I was like, oh, and I think it was in the middle of winter too. Um,
So it's chilly.
yeah.
I
But
think
yeah,
that's what broke you up.
I haven't had any things happen for a long time like that. So,
I think a lot of those things happen when we're younger. We're more susceptible to things like that when we're a teenager or a child.
I was an adult.
Were you? Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, that's weird. I
Yeah.
do have a couple more that I found. Let's see. This one is by Mrs. BMW 330XI. Okay. Must be her.
Oh.
Interesting. I was on a vacation on Florida. I think she meant in Florida, visiting a friend. We were walking on the beach on a perfectly sunny day when everything went black for a second. I think it was weird, but explained it away as if thinking my eyes were playing tricks on me until he looked at me and said, "Did everything go black for a second?" That's weird. Two
Oh.
different people saw blackness all of a sudden. I mean,
Yeah.
I would be thinking I must have just had a stroke or something, but
Right?
if
Yeah.
the person I was standing next to experienced the exact same thing, everything went black, I'd really wonder.
Yeah, I think definitely think something medical is going on, but then if 2 other people said that,
Yeah. How can everything just go black on a sunny day? Weird. That's people would probably say, well, what is it that they say? We live in a firmament and they turned off the lights in the firmament or something on us or something like that. I don't know. Weird.
mm.
I have this one here. This is by Dalios6757. She said, "This story might get buried, but oh well. When I played baseball as a kid, they were handing out the trophies at the end of the season. They called out the names of the kids while we received our trophies. There happened to be a kid with the same name as me. We met after the ceremony because it was weird since our last name isn't a very common one. We had the same birthday and everything. We looked alike. Both of our dads were named Derek, and both of our sisters were named Lily. As a kid, I found it cool. As an adult, I find it cool and also disturbing." I would say so.
Yeah.
That's
I've
weird if
seen
you're.
stuff like that though.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Where let's see, your father and mother have the same. I've heard about twins getting married and they have the same, or they find out later or something. I'm getting all my story all mixed up. But somebody that finds out they have the same father, the same name of father, the same name mother. They had the same. They had both had babies, and the child is the same name. They happen to name the same name. Just weird stuff like that.
There's actually a in in the news stuff I get, there was something, um, maybe it was yesterday that, these sisters, they weren't twins or anything, but they were, obviously separated
Hmm.
when they were kids, like, didn't know each other, and they found each other on the DNA, like a DNA
Wow.
site,
Yeah.
family tracing, um, and they had, like, similarities like that, like, both named their kid the same name, and
Oh yeah, that's what I've heard of. Yeah.
yeah, even though they're not twins,
Yeah.
it's kinda weird.
That is weird.
They had a lot of other things in common too, but I can't remember what it was now, but it was interesting.
Yeah. Wow. I'm looking. I'm on a website that has other glitch stories,
Oh, okay.
seeing if I can find anything good because I can't think of anything other than waking up on the sofa. I can't think of anything weird that's happened to me. Um, let's see. Let's try this one. Uh, I don't have a name for this person, so I'm sorry. I don't know who to give credit to for this particular story, but it says, "Freaking terrified. I worked up the courage to go." I think that I accidentally. Here we go. This I found out. I opened it up at the wrong place. This is the man the beard. Okay. When I was a teenager, my family lived in a big 115-year-old brick house. Plenty of creepy stuff happened, but one night I was heading to bed when the door between the first kitchen and the basement stairs absolutely slammed shut. It had, oops, I'm sorry, but the story just, or the page just re redid itself. Here we go.
Oh.
The page just like stopped and then started again. It had a unique sound that I recognized immediately as the kitchen basement door. There were no windows open that could have caused a draft. Our dog was asleep on the second floor. I was on the second floor. My parents were both asleep in the third floor attic. It had been converted into a master bedroom. None of us could have shut the door. I worked up the courage to go investigate, carrying my hilariously teeny pocket knife for protection. As I went downstairs, I turned on every light. When I reached the kitchen, the door was wide open. Even more freaked out, I ran back to bed, leaving the lights on. A minute or two later, I heard a definite shh, okay, okay, from downstairs. I laid in bed and was ready to accept my demise. Eventually, I somehow fell asleep. In the morning, I was there first downstairs. I woke up before my parents and dog and found that the lights were all off and the basement door had been shut again. Uh, oh, okay, that's the end of that. Well, that sounds
Yep.
more, I don't know if that's a glitch. That sounds more like a poltergeist or something like that.
Maybe. Yeah,
Hmm, I don't know. It could be.
it
Um,
could.
it could be it or could be not. Here's one called Adventure Depot. A short one. Removed a painting from the wall during a late evening cleaning, put it away, and returned to the wall to see a never before painting on the scene painting, a never before seen painting in the same spot. Put a chill down my spine. What the heck?
Uh,
That's weird. So they removed a painting to clean, and they went to put it away, and there's a new painting. maybe someone just came. Maybe someone just came along and said, "Hey, I need to put a painting in this spot."
right.
Unless there was no one there. Weird.
Well, maybe, or someone's playing a prank. I don't know.
Could be. Some of these things can be explained away, but some of them are awfully strange.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What else do we have here? This one is by Bandit 6 Actual. Okay. This happened around 1991. It's the middle of the night. I'm standing in my sister's living room and it must be a full moon because even though it's around 1 a.m. and the lights are off, I can see clearly. There's a mixing bowl with popcorn kernels in the bottom on the floor in front of the TV and some rental VHS in a pile nearby. That is 1991.
Oh,
I
yeah. A
VHS.
VHS.
Oh my god, I even remember Beta. Oh, hold on. This thing re-glitched. This page keeps re-glitching. It'll like restart over and on the top of the page and I have to scroll back down to my story. So the 1991 VHS tapes. Okay. Let me find it again here. Hello, everyone. Hopefully, you're doing well while I'm searching for this.
Yes. I feel like
There we go.
technology is not our friend today.
I don't think it is. I don't know. Maybe it's a full moon tonight. I really don't know when the full moons. I'm not. I don't keep up on it very well.
I don't either.
I just know my phone will tell me or something. Okay, so she popcorn kernels on the floor and in front of some rental VHS in a pile nearby. I hear a noise and turn around to see my sister's normally very friendly Labrador retriever looking like Cujo. Fangs bared, snarling, hackles raised. Suddenly there's a bright flash of light, and I wake up like I hit the bed from a great height. I think that was a weird dream. Eventually, I fall back asleep, and in the morning, I call my sister, planning to tell her the story, but she preempts me, telling me about the weird thing that happened last night. They woke up to the sound of the dog snarling at about 1 a.m. Her husband thought there was a prowler in the house, got a gun, and went to find the dog. She was standing in the living room, snarling at the middle of the room. He couldn't see anyone, so he flipped on the light. No one was there. The dog instantly stopped snarling and walked to her bed like nothing had happened. He checked the property and went back to bed. We talked a bit and found out they had watched some rental movies, and of course we had popcorn. Why? My sister is a little woo woo at times, so I decided woo woo. So I decided not to tell her about my night. She lived about 450 miles away, by the way. Wow. So that sounds like another premonition dream,
Yeah.
I'd say. Here's
I am trying to find something, but I cannot find it.
keep looking. This one is by Thin Man. He says, I wouldn't say that this was creepy, but it's definitely one of the most quaintly surreal things I've ever experienced. Back in 2016, I was injured at work, and for about 6 months, my life consisted of going to physical therapy and being confined to bed until I could walk again. With that in mind, I had a lot of time to read books. One of the books I was reading was Ex Heroes by Peter Kleins. Now, I don't know about anyone else, but when I read a book, I like to cast the characters in my head, coming up with how they look. One of the minor characters in this book was named Isla, and because I know someone named Isla, and because the book is set in Los Angeles, where I live, the Isla in my book became the Isla that I knew in my imagination. But then something strange started to happen. The Isla in the book made specific references to movies like Aliens, a movie which Isla and I know of, are a huge fan of. The Isla in the book was a big fan of firearms, as the that I know is.
Oh,
Put into words, these details seem slim, but there was something so strange about the character in this book that I eventually reached out to the Isla that I knew to ask about it. Turns out that Isla knows the author, Peter Kleins, who had put him in the book. What are the odds that I would choose to buy a random book with a story that takes place essentially on my street in Los Angeles and features someone that I know in real life as a minor character? That blew my mind, and it's easily one of the most surreal experiences I've had.
wow.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And interesting.
That is interesting. I wish stuff like that would happen to me.
Do you want to be in a book?
Maybe. I think I'm interesting enough to be in one.
Yeah.
Well, this one's more of a ghost story.
Ooh, we
It's
like
interesting.
those.
We like those. Those are good. I
Yeah.
don't think it's much more of a glitz. It's by Battle Narwhal 53. He said, not my story, but my grandpa's. He served in the Navy and hadn't come home for 5 years. He finally got to go home, and on his way, he saw his old friend, let's call him Wally. Wally was getting on his normal bus, and my grandpa shouted hi to him, but Wally didn't respond. But he didn't think much of it, seeing how Wally didn't have the best hearing. Wally got on his bus and looked my grandpa in the eye as the bus drove away. Later, after he got home, he was talking to his dad. He asked how Wally was doing and was told told his dad about how he saw him earlier. His dad was silent for a moment and then asked him if he was sure he saw Wally. My grandpa said yes. His dad replied, Wally died 6 months ago. Ooh. Whoops.
Ooh.
The page reloaded again. That's a good one. That's more of a ghost. That could be a glitch. I mean, I guess it depends on how you look at it.
Yeah. I did find what I was looking for.
Oh, good. Let's hear about it.
So, we didn't get to the mimics last time.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So, excuse me. Mimics are often described as supernatural beings or cryptids capable of perfectly imitating the voices of loved ones or familiar individuals. They are believed to lure victims into vulnerable situations, creating a sense of trust before revealing their true, often malevolent nature.
Hmm.
Common characteristics: voice imitation. Mimics can replicate voices with uncanny accuracy, often using the tone and inflection of someone familiar to the target. Appearance. In some stories, they can take on the physical appearance of individuals, further enhancing their deceptive nature. Behavior. They may display unusual or unnatural behavior that hints at their true nature, but often disguise it well. I wonder what that would be.
No,
Do they walk funny?
maybe.
Do they scurry towards you?
Scurry. That would be creepy.
Yes. Well, here's a little story called The Forest Encounter.
Hmm.
One popular tale: a hiker camping alone in the woods heard a voice calling his name, sounding exactly like his mother. Confused, he ventured out of his tent to investigate. The voice continued to call him, becoming more desperate. As he
Mm.
approached the source, he noticed that the voice seemed to be coming from a shadowy figure that was not quite right. Instinctively, he felt that something was off and retreated to his tent. The calling stopped, but he reported feeling watched throughout the night.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
that's definitely freaky. I don't like that feeling of being watched.
No. A group, and this is called The Haunted Cabin. A group
Ah,
of friends rented a cabin in the woods for a weekend getaway. One night, they heard a voice outside that sounded like one of their friends who had gone for a walk. The voice called out asking for help. Concerned, they opened the door to investigate, but when they stepped outside, the voice continued to call from different directions. Eventually,
mm,
they realized the voice was not their friend, but a mimic trying to lure them into the woods. They quickly retreated and locked the door, hearing the voice fade into the night. But what about their friend that went for a walk?
yeah, no kidding.
Did they hear that?
I don't know. I wonder.
I mean, you would think.
You'd think so.
Yeah, the child's voice. In another chilling account, a parent was at home when they heard their child's voice calling for them from the other room. They rushed to check on them, only to find the child sleeping peacefully in their bed.
Ooh,
As they turned back, the voice continued to call, sounding more and more like their child. Upon investigating, they discovered strange shadows moving in the corners of their home, making them realize something was trying to deceive them.
ooh.
Yeah, that's creepy. It was in the house.
Yeah, that is freaky. Oh,
Yeah,
I heard it's
that's not okay.
no, not even a little bit.
No.
I saw YouTube where what was it? These people were just out for a walk in the on a lonely road type of thing, and they hear someone, a man's voice yelling "Help! Help!" But he's real um, monotone about it. Instead of like "Help!" he's just like "Help! Help! Help!" And they start to go toward it. One of them starts to go toward it when the other person says, "I don't think that we should investigate whatever that is." It's just something weird on YouTube I saw, and I don't know whatever became of it, but they said that it could have been a mimic, trying to lure somebody, or they'll sometimes just sound like a baby crying, so that you're lured over to where the mimic is, so they can do whatever they're going to do to you.
I mean, it doesn't really say what mimics do to you.
It doesn't really, does it? I don't know if they
Yeah.
possess you or hurt you or kill you or torture
Yeah.
you or what they do exactly.
Looks like we have one more story
Cool.
called The Lonely Road. A traveler driving down a desolate road late at night heard a woman's voice pleading for help, claiming her car had broken down nearby. Remembering a safety rule about helping those in need, the driver slowed down but felt an unsettling chill. The voice sounded eerily familiar, but was also slightly off. When he got out to investigate, he found no one around. The voice stopped, leaving him feeling both confused and fearful as he quickly drove away.
Hmm. I don't know what I would think.
So, the themes and interpretations that are gotten from mimics is mimics often embody the themes of trust, deception, and the fear of the unknown. Their ability to imitate the familiar strikes at the heart of our instincts to protect ourselves and those we love. The presence of a mimic can symbolize the dangers of blindly trusting appearances or voices, reflecting deeper fears about safety and the integrity of relationships.
Wow.
And then it has a cultural impact. The concept of mimics has found its way into various media, including folklore, literature, and film, often as a metaphor for betrayal or hidden threats. They are featured in horror stories, urban legends, and even role playing games as deceptive creatures that can lead characters into dangers.
Hmm.
These tales of mimics contribute to the rich tapestry of urban legends, highlighting our fears of the familiar turning sinister.
Yeah. Someone should work on a movie about mimics and actually call it that. I would so go see it. A movie called Mimic.
Well, there was a movie called Mimic, but
Really? Ooh.
it wasn't quite. It was about bugs
Oh, that's dumb. I
that
want to
turned in,
see.
that looked like people or something. I can't remember. It's a long time ago.
Oh,
There's
speaking
like
of,
several.
Speaking of which, there's a movie I heard about called they. It's actually called "They Look Like People." Sometime we should do a live broadcast or a broadcast about movie reviews. We should totally do movie reviews of
Yeah.
horror movies we've seen. I think that'd be fun. We're totally bouncing this idea on live on live telecast. That's all right. But they need to do an actual mimic movie about actual mimics. Maybe I'll write one.
Yeah.
Don't take my idea, people.
You could do
There's
that.
there's a really scary video on TikTok. Again, it's on TikTok, but it actually I'm not scared easily, very easily. And this one scared the pants off me. Where this girl, now they probably just redid this, or they probably just faked it. I don't know, but it was still pretty scary. This girl's like a teenager, is inside her room with the door shut, and she's doing whatever teenagers do, and she hears what sounds like her mother's voice on the outside of the door calling her name. Let's just say her name is Annie. I don't remember her name. Where her mom's going, Annie, honey, Annie, it's me. Open the door. And she says her mom doesn't talk like that. It's her voice, but she doesn't, try to get her to open the door. She'll just open it, or she'll, she won't say Annie, honey. She didn't call her that. She didn't call it. So she was very reluctant to open the door. And then a few moments later, this voice went, Annie. It was just so creepy. It freaked me out.
Yeah.
Just suddenly this demonic voice. And they probably just, like I said, they just faked it or whatever, but it scared me. And I don't scare easily. I watch these horror movies and I think they're amusing. I don't think they're very scary. But just when you hear that demonic voice, first you hear a mimic that sounds like your mother, and then you hear a voice, that got all scary and devilish calling your name because they're getting
Yeah.
frustrated. You're not coming out.
I've seen some of those videos actually.
Yeah. And some of them are kind of silly and dumb, but that one scared me. I don't know.
And it's yeah.
I'll have to find it again and save it or something. I was scared to save it because I didn't want to go back to it and scare myself again.
Or were you afraid it was going to show up at your house?
Because I sleep with my door closed too because Einstein's in here. I'm afraid, I don't want to hear someone on the outside my door. Honey, come on. Something weird.
Well, yeah, and that would be weird because who would be doing that where you are now?
I don't know. Nobody.
Yeah.
That'd be even weirder if you lived alone. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I'd
No.
call the cops. I don't know what I would do. I'd probably jump out the window with my cat. Here we go.
No, we have animals that sleep in the bed, so
Yeah.
that door is left open.
Yeah. That's a good idea. So they can come in and out.
Hmm.
Then
Although,
you're letting all the ghosties in.
actually, this morning I took a shower. Well, I have the husky. He likes to he likes to sleep on the mat outside the shower when
Mm-hmm.
I'm in there. He was going to, but then the other one that I don't know, he's done this before where he seems like he's afraid that I'm going in there.
Oh, really?
And it, so I had to leave that door open. It was very cold. It was
Aw.
very cold, cold air coming in. And he kept like I had to leave the shower door slightly cracked open so he could look in
Yeah.
because he was very concerned and he was cocking his head because I'd look out at him and I'm like, yeah, it's fine. This is where you get a bath too. And
Yeah.
he doesn't like them. But yeah, he was just and then, you know, he I wanted to shut the bathroom door, so
Yeah.
I said, okay, you got that. And then he's like banging on the door.
Oh, no.
I'm like,
Let
no.
me in. You think it was a husky.
It wasn't. But he's just as chatty.
Yeah. They are, though.
Yeah.
Huskies are extremely chatty.
Then we have one dog that she doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, he just gets so worried about that.
Yeah. Have fun. You're in this strange room. I don't know what you're. I had a cat that used to look at me funny whenever I took baths and like, what are you doing soaking in this water? Why would you do that?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I did have a cat that did that when I was in the shower. She was like
Yeah.
I thought she was gonna come in.
Oh God, that would be funny.
I don't think she would have liked that.
She would have regretted that immediately.
Yeah, but she was, like, up on the ledge starting to, and then I
Yeah.
think she was like, "No."
Maybe she
But
thought she
she
was going to try to save you from the water.
Yeah, and she was meowing.
Animals are funny. Where did this conversation go?
I don't know. Well, those are animal horror stories for them.
Yes. Call in if you, or not call in, but write us if you have other animal stories. We'd love to hear those as well.
Yeah,
Maybe there's animal ghost stories.
yeah.
I do believe that animals come back as ghosts. I absolutely believe that.
Mhm.
I think they come and visit us to let them know they're in a good place and they'll see us one day again, all that stuff. I've got a lot of animals to visit once it's my time. Many that are going to come running to me. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
That'll be something to look forward to.
Yeah, you and me both. I mean,
Yep. They watch over us still.
and
But yep,
they
I've had a couple of things happen where I could see my cat, on the other side of the room, but I feel an animal, a small one, on the bed. I feel them. I swear to God, I feel them walking on the bed, and I'm like,
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I've had that
mm-hmm,
happen before, but not in a really long time.
not in a long time. This
Mm-mm.
has been recent. And I look over at Einstein. He's in his cat bed on the floor on the other side of the room. But I'm like, I feel something crawling on the bed. Some kind of something with little small feet. Four little small feet.
Oh,
I don't know. That's kind of sweet.
yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't have any more stories. I have a couple more that I could look up, though.
Okay.
Um, Here's one from someone named, I don't know how to say this, Nitharith. Sounds
I don't know.
like I'm listening. Nitharith. Like I'm lisping. Okay, anyway. This is from, actually, this is from Pinterest, not from the other one that I said. Um, Pinterest. One day when I was about 8, I didn't go to school because I was sick. My friend was supposed to bring me homework, etc., but never came. My granddad came home from work and he told me that my friend was dead. I was devastated. That night I had a dream. I was with my friend at a playground next to our school and we were talking. Then he told me that he is safe and it didn't hurt him when the car hit him. The next day, my mother wanted to talk to me about the situation and she asked me if I wanted to know what happened. I told her that I know everything because my friend told me. She thought that my granddad had told me, but he did not. He said that he did not want to tell me without her knowing it. That night, I had a dream again, and I was talking to him again. We were playing and having fun, and he told me that he really had to go and we won't see each other ever again. The next day was his funeral, and I really haven't had a dream about him ever since. Well, that's sad, and
Yeah.
that's more of a ghost story or someone that visits you in a dream
Mhm.
once they've passed. I wouldn't really call that a glitch in the matrix.
Yeah, because 'cause I've had that,
Yeah, I've had that too. Hmm.
and it is kinda weird when they
Oh yeah.
say, "Well, I can't come back. I have to go now."
Yeah. You realize that they have to go where they. I've
Mhm.
had that before. But you do. Hopefully, you will see them again.
Mhm.
When it's your time to go. I think that everyone that's ever passed before you will greet you at the pearly gates or wherever wherever it is that you go,
Yeah.
or over the rainbow to see your pets. Well, let's see.
You would
Here's one
be
more.
swallowed by them. There's so many.
Yeah. Here's one more. Voice of Schmill. Again on Pinterest. Several years ago, I went home, turned on my PC, browsed the web for a bit, literally watching a video about the Matrix. Interesting. Then looked out of my window. I suddenly snapped awake, sitting in my chair. I looked at my monitor to see that and saw that it had been turned off. I thought, strange, I must have fallen asleep, and proceeded to move the mouse to wake my PC from sleep mode. It did not wake up. I was confused until I noticed the power strip was not even plugged in. It had never been turned on in the first place. That one weirded me out for quite a while. I must have gone home, fallen asleep, and dreamt the whole thing. At least I hope so. Ooh, and that reminds me, actually, it reminds me of something really good. Again, it might have been something someone made up, but it creeped me out. One of the few things. It sounds like I'm creeped out by everything, but really, this is one of the few things. I'm trying to remember how this went. This guy uh, came home, plugged from work, plugged in his cell phone downstairs, went upstairs to bed, and had a nightmare. And in his nightmare, he was lost in a forest, and there was really loud music playing, like Disney music, really loud Disney music playing while he was in this forest. And he got out his cell phone in his pocket in his dream. His cell phone was in his pocket. He got out his cell phone and he couldn't think of any number to call except for his own number. For some reason, he couldn't think of any other number that he could possibly call. So he called his cell phone, and it picked up, and his voicemail came on. He went screaming into the phone because he couldn't uh, hear himself. He couldn't hear anything. All he heard was this loud Disney music, and he was scared and lost in this forest. And so I think at that point the dream had ended, and he woke up kind of startled from the weird dream that he had. And he went downstairs to get a drink of water or something, or he did something. And he saw that he had, I think it was actually not a voicemail on his phone, but it was one of those answering machines that we used to have. And he looked in his answer machine, saw that he had a message. And he listened to the message, and there was this person screaming with Disney music playing in the background. He said, he swears to God this is true. And so he doesn't know. That's weird. If he, I don't know what he did after that. He he had it was on an actual answering machine. His phone was unplugged. He could have sworn when he came home from work that he plugged in his phone. His phone was still there, but it was unplugged, and he had a message on his answering machine that was someone screaming with Disney music playing in the background. I don't know how that could have happened, unless he, like, the only thing I could think of that he could have done was maybe he walked into sleep downstairs in the middle of the night, turned on the TV, and it was on some Disney thing, and he turned it way up and then just started screaming over it and left himself a message. I don't know what else. I'll have to find that.
That would be a lot of steps to go
I know,
through.
right? For him to do that. But the fact that he recorded his possible dream just sort of freaks me out. That sounds like a weird glitch to me. I don't
Yeah.
know. I might have saved that
Well,
on my
also,
computer.
like, what would the TV have been on?
I know. I don't know. Unless
I
he
don't
in
know. It
his.
seems like a lot of steps to go through if you're sleepwalking.
Mm-hmm. And maybe it's just all made up for a story, but it's a good story
True.
someone made up. It was a good story that they made up. I don't know.
All
Sometimes
right.
people have the greatest imaginations. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's all I've got for today.
Lost in Disney World.
Lost in a forest in Disney World yet. Ooh,
But I mean, they have forests there, sort of.
they do. They do. That's weird.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
All right. Well, I mean, I think this has been entertaining for sure.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I love
And
Glitch and Matrix. And if you, oh my gosh, you guys, I love Glitch and Matrix stories. If you guys have one, please,
oh
please,
yeah.
please email us at the spooky sisters 666 at gmail.com.
Yes.
And I'll put an ad on the book face, as I like to call it, and see if someone has some stories. But I love stuff like that. I'll have to look up some more.
Yeah.
These are even better for me than ghost stories. Glitch stories are even better to me.
Well, they definitely make you think
They do. They absolutely do.
because you're like, how did that happen?
How did that happen? And did it happen? Yes. Hmm. So like and subscribe.
Yes. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe to us, and we'll come back to you soon. We're going to have some guests on our show coming up.
Yep.
And so look out for that. We'll advertise on the book face so you guys know what's happening with the Spooky Sisters.
Yes.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah. And Spooky Sisters out.
We're out and about.
And all right. And